truly, we must meet them face to face. It is said, now love thy neighbor, and we know well that is true. This the sum of human labor, true for me as well as you.
As we light our chalice this morning in the sanctuary, a symbol of our living tradition, those joining us remotely are also invited to light a candle or chalice of their own. I offer words entitled, All Animals Are Our Relatives, by Florence Caplow. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hooved, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect.
Please rise now. In body or in spirit, rise to sing Wake Now My Senses, number 298 in the Gray hymnal.
Just a reminder, there are 5 verses, so keep going.
As we transition into a brief time to reflect on the stewardship of this congregation, I have an update from our stewardship co-chairs. So far, we have received $147,323 in pledges, which is 65.5% toward our goal of $225,000. We've received pledges from 58 people or family units, or slightly under half of the expected number of pledges, but this does include 5 new pledgers. Slightly over 2/3 of the pledges received have been increased from last year. We are so grateful for this generous congregation. Thank you. Steve, I would like to invite you to come forward and share with us.
Good morning. I was raised in the church. Not this church, the Lutheran church. My parents literally met in Sunday school. Both sets of grandparents were members of that church. My mother sang in the choir for 50 years, and my father was a president of the church council, and I was head of a regional synod youth group of 30-some congregations. And then I went to college. And that college was during the 1960s and during the Vietnam War. And I learned there to question other people's truths. In the spring of 1975, I joined the Unitarian Church of Lancaster. After moving to York County for a job in 1986, I joined this congregation a year later. This spring marks 50 years. During those years, I've worn many hats, and I've known many ministers, at least a dozen. Why have I stayed around for 50 years? Certainly, the initial attraction was theology. I had enough of creed and dogma and was encouraged to think for myself. It's not good just accepting. You know, the whole idea of somebody wrapping up the truth and handing it to you and you're just supposed to open it and accept it as a gift just didn't work for me. And over the years, I've become comfortable with not knowing, with the mystery, without having all the answers given to us. I know that gives solace to many, and it might to me if I could just get my head to wrap around it, and I can't. I've also stayed in the Unitarian Universalist Dynamic Association of Congregations because of our rich history of social reformers who've made huge differences in American history. From John Quincy Adams, who argued in the very early days of our nation, one of the first Unitarian presidents, who argued against the gag rule, which prevented the discussion of slavery in Congress. And he defended the slaves that mutinied on a slave ship, the Amistad. Theodore Parker was one of the early abolitionists. Henry David Thoreau, who, in opposition to the war in Mexico, refused to pay his taxes and went to jail. We learned last week about Reverend James Reeb, who was killed in the 1960s as he went to Alabama to speak on behalf of African American citizens there. Ministers who were jailed in this country for performing same-sex marriages before it was legal. And then a more recent troubadour of social justice, Pete Seeger. All of these people have been for me, guiding lights. And I'm sure that our leadership at the national level today plays the same role. This congregation has had some good social justice interaction, good sparks that I think can grow into larger fires. Lastly, this congregation has become a second family. That's something that you don't learn when you first show up and are a visitor. You need to get involved in more than that. And there's plenty of opportunities to do that, whether it's working in the garden or going to the knitting group or the men's group that meets on Saturdays or singing in the choir. That's what helps you develop that sense of family. And I was reminded of that yesterday. We had a auction event in Red Lion where 13 of us walked the Red Lion Mile. And then we came here for the service for Lucy and Brian Stevens. And it reminded me at that point that I got to know Brian at an auction event. 25 years ago, I bid on something that he offered, which was a canoe trip out into the middle of the Susquehanna. My daughter and I went out, and he showed us the petroglyphs on the rocks in the middle of the Susquehanna. This has become a family to me, people that I've grown to love and respect and learn from. And I think in our world today, we need that. We need that family. The world outside here doesn't always share our values. We need to come together as that family. So when I give, I'm giving to help keep the lights on, to pay for our wonderful staff, but I'm giving because this is family, and I encourage you to do so too. Thank you.
Many of you have been curious about Rainbow, my fiance Dana's service dog. She has been coming to Sunday worship services every week since Dana and I met. And I think it's safe to say at this point she's a UU pup. Sometimes she sleeps through the whole thing. Sometimes she enjoys the time for all ages for the pets and attention on the rug. Sometimes she will get up, shake off her slumber, and let me know that she's ready for me to wrap things up so we can go for a walk in the park and get some lunch. She's here every week, and we hope that you will stop by before or after the service sometime and get to know her. For now, though, I will share a little about her story. Rainbow was rescued from a really bad situation where she was crated for at least the first 3 years of her life. And she was used for breeding very expensive puppies. But she was not born for that life. The woman who received Rainbow after her rescue noticed immediately how gentle she was by nature, how obedient and loyal, how bright and attentive she was without any training or prior socialization. Dana shared with me that one thing she loves about Rainbow is how brave and adventurous she has become. She had no experience with life outside of a crate until after age 3. She had to be taught how to walk up and down stairs, how to walk on a leash. And from there, she's been trained to be a service dog and do so many brave things. She can hike and climb boulders. She's traveled on planes and boats, kayaked, gone river tubing, and even ATVing. Dana also wanted me to mention that Rainbow is such an ambassador for pit bulls as a breed. All people know is what they've seen on TV and in media and movies about pit bulls being aggressive dogs. But once people look into Rainbow's eyes, they can see how good and sweet and gentle she is. She really opens people's hearts to realize how false and harmful stereotypes really are. We hope you see it too. We think she's so brave and amazing and special. And I think Rainbow is also amazing and special for the perhaps unintentional service that she seems to provide to complete strangers everywhere she goes. Dana is a lawyer, and Rainbow goes everywhere with her. So during client interviews, while Dana discusses legal issues with her clients, Rainbow stays close so they can pet her while they talk. In the courtroom, both children and adults sitting near Rainbow often express gratitude for her presence and a palpable sense of relief by touching her or just watching her. Some children associated with cases Dana has taken have told her they were actually looking forward to their day in court simply because they knew they'd get to see Rainbow again. Children and adults alike facing some extremely difficult situations and circumstances are gifted with moments of joy and peace while interacting with Rainbow. Rainbow didn't really have much exposure to children before coming to UUCY, but her chosen spot just off the rug this morning here in front of the sanctuary really changed that quickly. She can be a little shy at first, but the children and youth and even the adults have been very gentle and inviting, giving her a sense of trust and assurance that she's safe. Dana, Rainbow, and I all thank you for welcoming her into this community. Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual teacher and author, writes about what happens when you're holding or even just watching an animal. Thought subsides, he says, when you pet a dog or you have a purring cat on your chest. Even just watching an animal can take you out of your mind. It's more deeply connected with the source of life than most humans. And that rootedness in being transmits itself to you. Millions of people who would otherwise be completely lost in the conceptual reality of their mind are kept sane by living with an animal. Tolle further invites us to learn from our creature friends about presence and mindfulness as well. He says, "Watch any plant or animal and let it teach you acceptance of what is. Surrender to the now. Let it teach you being. Let it teach you integrity, which means to be one, to be yourself, to be real. Let it teach you how to live and how to die, and how to not make living and dying into a problem." Whew. Who knew animals had so much to teach us without saying any words? Maybe one year we'll just have a silent sermon for the animal blessing and let the birds and the wildlife outside do the talking, just crack the doors. Or better yet, anytime you find yourself needing a good word from Spirit, just step outside and listen. Or pss, 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 to get your cat to come cuddle up. The wisdom of their presence will preach. Another of my favorite sources of wisdom is television. There's a great episode of The Twilight Zone called The Hunt, where an old man and his dog named Rip go out for one evening for a hunt, and they never return home. He seems to wake the next morning and journeys on an unfamiliar road with his dog until he comes to a gate. The gatekeeper takes down his name and some information, including how he died. The old man spends some time in denial while he talks with the gatekeeper, but the gatekeeper reassures him that he is, in fact, dead. He's on the eternal road. And this is the gateway to what he says is the celestial palace where the old master has his headquarters, he tells the old man. But the old man wonders why he can't hear dancing or singing. "Oh, well, that's because you're on the outside. Come on in and reap your heavenly reward," says the gatekeeper. But there's one problem. His dog, Rip, cannot come with him. He says, "There's another place right down the road for dogs." Well, that will not do for the old man. He gathers his dog's leash and turns to walk away from the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper tries to stop him. "Wait, where are you going?" "Well, any place that's too highfalutin for Rip is too nice for me," says the old man. "What kind of heaven would it be with no dogs? They got just as much a right to a man as we have to a dog," he says. And he wanders off with his dog and takes a seat on a log to think about what a strange place that must be in there with no dogs and no coon hunting. After a time, another stranger comes along looking for him and says, "If you and Rip are all ready, we might as well just mosey on along." And he says, "Mosey along where?" "Well, heaven, of course," says the stranger. And the old man explains that he already decided not to go anywhere without his dog. That would be a hell of a place without Rip, he says. The stranger says, "Oh, you didn't get mixed up with those people, did you? You ain't far wrong. That is hell." The old man reflected on the fact that they wouldn't allow dogs and concludes, "A man will walk into hell with two eyes open, but even the devil can't fool a dog." The old man, with his dog Rip by his side, follows the true angel along the road to the gates of heaven, which are notably wide open. What kind of life would we have without animals? What lengths would we have to go to access spirituality and divinity and heaven on earth? We are eternally blessed by the creation that surrounds us, as well as our domesticated creatures that companion us in our lives. Blessed be, may it be so, and amen. Now, we have come to the portion of today's service where we will engage in ritual. So I'm going to put my hair up. That means business. All right. Feels a little crazy, I apologize. But it's out of my face. What does it mean to bless our animals? There may be some Catholics or recovering Catholics in the building who remember St. Francis of Assisi, who cared for the animals and the environment as his ministry. Many congregations celebrate this animal blessing ritual around the feast day of St. Francis in October. But I thought we needed to turn towards celebration sooner than that. So I scheduled it for today. And luckily, we do not need to be saints to be able to bless someone or something. A blessing is simple, really. It's an intention, an expression of gratitude, joy, hope, and love toward a person, animal, or thing. And that's why we've gathered here today in this special way to recognize and celebrate how our lives have been blessed by our animals and to express our blessing to them in return. To center and ground us into this ritual time, I offer the poetic words of Maureen Killoran entitled, "Blessed are all living things." For the blessing of animal companions, we give thanks. For the beautiful ones whose fur is silky and whose tails are long, whose feathers are brilliant or voices are splendid, we give thanks. For the frantic ones, the runts, and the hungry who run to the food bowl, or a pat as though this is life's last possible gift, we give thanks. For the obnoxious ones, the heads that butt against us as we're trying to sleep, the bodies that refuse to learn discretion as they make digestive gifts, we give thanks. For those who bark and purr and growl and mew, for all those who squeak or squawk or snarl or hiss, we give thanks. For the animals unknown to us, those whose niche in life's web is fragile, whose lives are insecure, for all who care for them and wish them well, we give thanks. Blessed are the animals, blessed are the creatures who live with us and need our care. Blessed are the mammals and the reptiles and the birds who teach us we are not alone. Blessed are all living things from whom we learn to love. Now, it's time for us to engage in this ritual to celebrate and bless our animals. Gretchen will provide some background music while I invite you to come forward, if that's okay, with your animal friend or photo of them to represent them. I will ask for their name, and then I will speak a blessing over each of them. For those of you at home or who have animals with sensitivity issues, let's practice this blessing together so that you can do it with your animals. For those of you who'd like to bring your animals forward or your items to be blessed, we can all practice together. I'm going to say, may you live a long, happy, and blessed life. May you live a long, happy, and blessed life. May there be food in your belly. May there be food in your belly. A warm place to sleep. A warm place to sleep. And joy in your days. All right. I'll invite you forward in some sense of order, perhaps row by row. You can come first. Hello. May there be food in your belly and a warm place to sleep and joy in your days. May you have a long, happy, and blessed life. May there be food in your belly, a warm place to sleep and joy in your days. We gotta move. Hello.
Let's get this fixed.
May you have a long, happy life. Food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Yeah.
Give her a kiss.
Thank you. May you have a long, happy life. Food in your belly, warm place to sleep, and joy in your days.
This is Abby.
Abby, hello. May you have a long, happy life. May you have food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Yeah. Hello, who is this? Hello, Jason. May you have a long, happy life, food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Thank you.
Do what you can.
Who is this?
This is Wallace.
Oh, Wallace. Hello, Angel. May you have a long, happy life.
Rough month.
Yeah. May you have food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Bless you, sweet angel. Hello, Duncan. Hello, Duncan. You have a long, happy life. You have a long, happy life, food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. So
Henry, hello. Man about 209 years old. You have yummy food in your belly, a warm place to rest. Oh my goodness. Cookie, may you have a long, happy life and food in your belly and a warm place to sleep and joy in your What an angel. We have some treats up here for after the service. Oh, what is this? Popcorn. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, that's good. Thank you so much. Hello. Who's this? Wow. May they be healthy and loved. Okay, hello. Hello. Hi, Lucky. May you have a long, happy life, and food in your belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in your days. Thank you. Oh, yes. You got a big voice. You got a big voice. Thank you so much. Not anymore. Good morning. Oh, may Ruby have a long, happy life. That looks like a very warm place to sleep. May they have food in their bellies and joy in their lives. Hello, good to see you. Oh, so cute. May they all have long, happy lives, food in their bellies, warm places to sleep and enjoy. Good to meet you.
Frenchie. Of course, named her Frenchie, and found out English
May Kitten 11 have such a long, happy life. Food in their belly, joy in their days, and warm places to sleep. Yeah, she's on the committee, so she's a member, basically. May she have a long, happy life, food in her belly, a warm place to sleep, and joy in her day.
This is Benji, and I know that we should bring our actual guest. I'm working on trying to get him to get married. He's married long, and he's not yet a year ago.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Bring your dog. See, he needs to get a little better.
Yeah, we can talk about it. What's his name? Benji. May he have a long, happy life, food in his belly, warm places to sleep, and so much joy.
We would love to have him. It's very, very
Fiance, future wife. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness, may they both have long, happy lives. May they both have long, happy lives with food in their bellies and warm places to sleep and so much joy in their day. Will you give them a hug for me when you get home? Thank you so much. I've got some treats for after the service. May you have a long, happy life and food in your belly and warm places to sleep and wander around and enjoy your day. Got some treats that I want to take back to the service.
That's Bella.
Bella. May Bella have a long, happy life.
Never hit, never ground, never get up and down. She's old enough that she's strong.
And may she have food in her belly and warm places to sleep and joy in her day.
My boy Tiger.
Oh, Tiger.
Only because he's striped. He's so gentle. And I have a Goldie too, but they're not the same picture.
That's okay.
He sleeps on. He's learned to sleep on my pillow.
Yeah.
As well as my bed.
He have a long, happy life with food in his belly and warm places to sleep just like that. And joy in his day. Good. Thank you, Karen. Oh my goodness. What a long, happy life. Good. Yes. May he have food in places to sleep and joy in your days. Yeah, good dog. What's his name? Stole. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. May these loved ones be held, knowing both in life and the afterlife that they were loved beyond belief, that they were cared for in the best ways possible, and how many gifts they offer in their lives. May you be blessed, loved ones, in their memories, in their present, in that drift of wind that catches you off guard, that is their presence. May you be Yeah. May you have a long, happy life and yummy food in your belly. There's some treats up there if you want to take them later. And joy in your days and warm places to sleep and lots of places to walk and sniff. May they have long, happy lives and food in their bellies and warm places to cuddle and sleep and joy in their days.
Denim, our oldest cat, my daughter with her spots on her radio Azinga was recently diagnosed with diabetes. There are Norwegian forest twins. They're all
May all these beloveds, may all these beloveds be blessed with long, happy lives, yummy food in their bellies, warm places to sleep, and joy in their days. May you be blessed by their presence. Luna and Bixie, may you have long, happy lives, warm places to sleep, food in your bellies, joy in your days. May you be blessed by their presence. It is in blessing that we too are blessed, and I have you all to thank for that. I feel truly blessed by all of the presence in this room today. Just as a note, this altar table has some snacks and treats for our animal friends that you're welcome to pick up after the service today. But for now, Craig Zumbrun will bless us with the gift of music and humor, and the choir will join in a little bit too. If you happen to know it, feel free to sing along.
And Susquehanna Folk Music Society had him in a concert about 40 years ago in the area, and he's been back a few times, although he's now not with us. But you may know some of the words, and because it's a folk song, you're highly encouraged to sing along. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just pat their hands, pause, or anything they got now. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do. And the old cow just goes moo. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, paws, or anything they got now. Dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, donkey brays and the pony neighs and the old coyote howls. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, pause, or anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds sing on the high melodies and the high notes ringing. Mood out harmonies over everything and the jaybird disagrees. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, pause, or anything they got now. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way. Possum ain't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. Well, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, and the sly raccoon, the turtle dove. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands because the rain's getting out now.
We now invite you into generosity as we collect our weekly offering. Each week, we commit to sharing our offering collection with a community organization that upholds our values. Our Share the Plate partner for March is the York Children's Advocacy Center, a local organization that offers a safe place for child abuse victims to receive forensic interviews and forensic medical exams. Their mission is to reduce the trauma of child abuse investigations and to foster professional collaboration and cooperation and promote education and advocacy regarding the prevention of child abuse within the community. The ushers will now collect the offering. If this is your first time visiting with us, please feel free to let the basket pass you by. Your presence is a gift to us. Please join us in extinguishing our chalice, and your home chalices if you have lit them, with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts, until we are together again.
I have made a note that we need a larger altar table next year for this animal blessing. Many of you brought photos and items of beloved pets that are either still here with us or have gone on over the Rainbow Road. I have included a couple of treats and toys that are welcome for people to take home. If you have those who are young in body or spirit who'd like to come up and select something for a cat or a dog at home, please feel free to do so. We also have some wonderful donations to our coffee hour today. So if you're feeling hungry, because we've gone a little bit over time with all the ritual that we did, you've got a treat out in the coffee hour. If you are needing to talk about politics, people will be gathering back here in the sanctuary after the service. Right over in the choir loft, they'll be gathering to talk about politics. If you need to be in space that feels brave and relatively safe. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the risk to be in the chaos with us. I think this went lovely, really well, and I hope that you go in peace, bounding and jumping and bouncing in joy, and just taking in the beauty of the day and all of creation around us. Go in peace.
We